Hi there, this is Mr. Evans. This video is looking at the influences on strategic positioning. So we've gone through these different models looking at how to strategically position your company, and we've kind of talked about the value of different strategic positions as we've gone through. Just want to come back and make sure we understand the influences on the choice of a positioning strategy. So we could define, and I have defined, strategic positioning in a previous video as the process of choosing the methods an organisation will use to differentiate themselves within the markets in which they compete. For example, are we selling low price? Are we selling at a high level of perceived benefit? Now then, the idea of these strategic positioning models, both Porter's generic strategies here and Bowman's strategic clock here, is that any organisation could employ these models. It doesn't matter what market you're competing in. These models are applicable across markets, and they're generic strategies, as the name of Porter's implies, that we could use in any industry in order to differentiate ourselves and compete. So, what are the influences on the strategic position that an organisation will take? Well, first of all, most importantly, and this is key for understanding this whole A-level course, is that a business needs to look at its strengths and weaknesses, which are its internal strengths, its internal weaknesses. What are our core competencies? What are we really good at, and what are we not so good at? We can concentrate then on what we're really good at and avoid what we're not so good at. And if we know what we're good at, we know what to avoid, then we focus our efforts on building those strengths further and matching them to the opportunities in the external environment. So we take our knowledge of our strengths and weaknesses, and then we look for opportunities to apply our strengths in the external environment and potential threats in the external environment that may exploit our weaknesses. Now, how do we analyse the external environment? Of course, we use our PESTLE analysis. We look at the political, economic, social, technological, legal, and ethical environment to see what's going on. So if we're aware of our strengths and weaknesses and the opportunities and threats, we can then decide on the most potentially rewarding strategic position for us to take. Alright, be that selling a highly differentiated product for a high price, or aiming for a cost leadership strategy where we're the lowest cost provider in the market. So these things would tend to fall under either strengths and weaknesses or opportunities and threats, but the size of the company can be a strength or a weakness. Are we able to exploit economies of scale? Can we mass produce things at a really low price and then take advantage of that and sell those products and become a cost leader? Or are we able to target niche markets with our products? Do we really know a lot about a niche market? Can we develop that knowledge to provide a product that they'll find really valuable and charge a premium price to that niche market because we've made a really good product for them? Brand image and customer loyalty will be important. If we've already got an image as a kind of cheap company, for example, an organisation like Poundstretch or Poundland would find it very difficult to start selling a premium product because their strategic position has been to be selling a low price, low value item. And so it'd be very difficult to maybe change that, and that kind of dictates our future strategic position as well. The financial position of the company is going to be really important. If we're a company like Apple that's got lots and lots of cash, we're going to be able to do lots of spending on research and design and promotion and all the rest of it. If we're an organisation that's only making very low margins on each unit sold because we're selling it for a low price, maybe we don't have lots of liquidity in the company that enables us to invest like that. The workforce, the level of their skills and innovation will have an impact on the strategic position. It's all very well saying we're going to be really innovative and design all these innovative products, but we don't have the workforce to back that up. It's not going to be a viable strategic position for us. And finally, the levels of competition and our competitors' actions. we're not entering into a niche market, a kind of differentiation leadership strategy where we're trying to sell a really expensive product to a niche market. That's probably not going to be too successful. If there's high levels of competition in that market, that's going to drive down our ability to charge a high price. Because we're going to have really high costs to compete in that market. So all of these things would have an impact on the strategic position that a company decides to take.